Today we will learn two Rausal criteria related problems, but two problems are different. Now we will learn how many poles are in the right half of the spring, how many poles are in the left half of the spring, and how many poles are in the j omega axis. So this is your transfer function. Yes. S4 plus 4s square plus 8s plus 16 divided by S5 plus 3s4 plus 5s square plus s plus 3. So 1 plus GSHS is your characteristics equation. This is S2 by 5 plus 3s4 plus 5s square plus s plus 3. This is your characteristics equation. So let's check. Let's plot the table. S5 is 1, 5, 3. 1, 5, 3. S4 is 3, 1. 3, 1. Now let's do the calculation. This is 3 into 5 minus 1 into 1. So this is 3 into 5, 15 minus 1 by 3. We can do 14 by 3. Then again it's 3 into 3 minus 0 into 1. 3 into 3 is 3. 3 into 3 is 9 minus 0 by 3. So it is 3. Now it is s to the power s square. It is 14 by 3 into 1 minus 3 into 3. 14 by 3 minus 9 by 14 by 3. That is equal to minus 13 by 14. So again, and this is 0. 0, 14 by 3 into 0 minus 3 into 0 by 14 by 3. This is 0. Again, it is minus 13 by 14 into 3 divided by minus 13 by 14. So it is 3. Again it is, again here, again here, 14 by 3 into 0 minus 3 into 0. This is 3. Fourteen by 3 into 0 minus 3 into 0. So it is 0. So it is 0. Now here also it is 0. So it is 3, 0. Because minus 13 by 14 into 3 divided by minus 13 by 14. So it is 3. So 3 into 0 minus 14 by 3 into 0 divided by minus 13 by 14. 0. So 3 into 0 minus 13 by 14 into 0. So it is 0. Here it is 0, but we don't treat it as 0. We treat it as epsilon. Epsilon is a very small value. Epsilon is a very small value. Value greater than 0. So two sign changes here. S3 to S2, one sign changes. S2 to S1, one sign changes. Two sign changes are there. S3 to S2, one sign changes. S2 to S1, one sign changes. So two poles will lie right half of the S plane and three poles will lie left half of the S plane. Two poles will lie right half of the S plane. Three poles will lie left half of the S plane. So here in this case, two poles will lie right half of the S plane. Three poles will lie in the left half of the S plane because only two sign changes. S3 to S2, one sign changes. S2 to S1, one sign changes. So the number of sign changes in the first column means the exact number of poles will lie at the right half of the S plane. So three poles will lie at the left half of the S plane. Two poles will lie at the right half of the S plane. Okay. Now let's go to the second problem. This is your transfer function. This is your characteristics equation. Now let's plot the table. 1, 3, 2. S1 for 1, 3, 2. Minus 2, 6, minus 2, minus 6, minus 4. Minus 2, minus 6, minus 4. For S4. Now if you do S3 related operation, this is minus 4 minus 4 minus 4 by minus 2 is 0. And so now if you do S3 related operation, minus 2 into minus 3, minus 2 into 3, minus 6, minus 6 by minus 2, it is 0. So here also it is 0, here also it is 0. The system will break down. System breakdown happens. Now what will you do? So it's k is equal to minus 2s4 minus 6s square minus 4. This is your k. So do the first order derivative. Del k del s means minus 8s cube minus 12s. It is minus 8 minus 12. Again its s cube is minus 8 minus 12. So after doing first order derivative, it will be minus 8 minus 12. Now let's do the operation. Again it's minus 8 into 6 minus 6 is minus 48 minus 24 by minus 8. So it is minus 3 minus 8 into minus 4, that is minus 32 by minus 8 equal to minus 4, and again here it's 0. So it will be, so here it will be 0. You got, there is no value for here. Now minus 3 into minus 12 divided by minus 3. Minus 3 into minus 12 minus 3 into minus 12 is minus 36. Minus 3 into minus 12 is 36. Minus 32 by minus 3. It is minus 4 by 3. Here it is minus 4 by 3. So minus 4 by 3 into minus 4 is equal to minus 4. So where is the sign changes? S5 to S4, there is one sign changes. Now we have to find out how many poles are located in the j omega axis. Ts equal to minus 2s4 minus 6s square minus 4. So s square plus 3s s4 plus 3s square plus 2 is equal to 0. Ts minus 2s4 minus 6s square minus 4 minus, so it is s4 plus 3s square plus 2 is equal to 0. So s square plus 2 into s square plus 1 is equal to 0. So s square is equal to plus minus j root 2 and is equal to plus minus j. So 4 poles are in the j omega axis. 1 pole at the right half of the S plane, 4 poles are in the j omega axis, and no poles in the left half of the S plane. So these two are unstable system, because if Routh-Maluch criteria suggests if there is any pole located at the right half of the S plane due to the sign changes in the first column of the table, so the same number of roots will lie in the right half of the S plane. If there is any sign change in the first column of the table, so the same number of poles will lie, exactly the same number of poles will lie at the right half of the S plane. So the system will become unstable. Here the system may be marginally stable because 4 poles are lying at the j omega axis, but 1 pole lie at the right half of the S plane. So the system may have the tenacity or the tendency to become unstable. Here also system has the tendency. Here also 2 poles lie in the right half of the S plane, so the system will become unstable. This is an unstable system. This is also an unstable system. So if there is no sign changes in the right half of the in the first column of the table, if there is no sign changes in the first column of the table, so the no poles will lie at the right half of the S plane. So the system will become stable. Here the system is stable. System is unstable because S5 to S4, one sign changes means 1 pole lie at the right half of the S plane. 1 pole will lie at the right half of the S plane. In fact, 1 pole is lying at the right half of the S plane. Here 2 sign changes, S3 to S2, S2 to S1. So 2 poles lie at the right half of the S plane. 2 poles lie at the right half of the S plane. Here 1 pole lie at the right half of the S plane. So This is problem number 1 and problem number 2. So we have solved 6 problems. Yesterday we have solved 4 problems regarding Raut-Hurwitz criteria. These two are quite different problems. But remember one thing, if breakdown happens, that means S3 minus 2 into minus 3, minus 2 into 3, minus 6, minus 6 by minus 2. So it is 0. Here also minus 2 into 2, minus 4, minus 4 by minus 2 is 0. So these two are 0. That means a breakdown happens. So it is minus 2 S4, minus 6 S square, minus 4. So it's del K del S means minus 8 S cube, minus 12 S. So minus 8, minus 12. So it's here breakdown happens. If breakdown happens, you have to take the first order derivative of that row. In this row, first order derivative of its previous row. Sorry, first order derivative of its previous row. Here breakdown happens 0 0. So you have to take the first order derivative of its previous row. This row, first order derivative you have to take. If breakdown happens, here 0, here 0. So if here 0, here 0. So in both the cases we are finding 0 0. So we have to take first order derivative of its previous row. The previous row is S4. S4 is minus 2 S to the power 4, minus 6 S square, minus 4. So take the first order derivative of this row. If breakdown happens, here also 0, here also 0. So you cannot take decision about the stability of the system. You don't know how many poles will lie at the right half of the S-plane or how many poles will lie at the left half of the S-plane. Then in that case, you have to take first order derivative of its previous row. This row, totally this row, you have to take first order derivative. Then it will be minus 8, minus 12. So 1 poles will lie at the right half of the S-plane, 4 poles will lie at the j omega axis, and 0 poles will lie at the left half of the S-plane. So you have understood 2 problems. I think you have understood 2 problems. So there will be no question regarding. We will have to find out how many signs are changing in the first column. We will have to observe the first column. How many signs are changing in the first column? If breakdown happens, go to the previous row. If any particular row the breakdown happens, in any particular row, go to its previous row and take the first order derivative of that row. You will get the corresponding coefficients of its next row. If I do first order derivative of this, I will get minus 8s cube minus 12s. So this is the coefficient of s cube and this is the coefficient of s. If breakdown happens, do it like that. If no breakdown, then there will be no problem. So this is your table. This is your first problem. This is your second problem. Remember all these 2 problems. Shortly after this video and another video, I will give another video regarding another question regarding last problem of Raut-Hurwitz criteria. Today we are ending the Raut-Hurwitz criteria. Hope you have understood the problem. No problem. I guess there will be no problem in understanding this. And always take, if you want to find out how many poles are in the j omega axis, or don't go with s square. Always go for the S4 because you have S4. S4 you have. So from S4, from this row, you have to calculate how many poles are there in the j omega axis. How many poles are located in the j omega axis. This row, use this row to find out how many poles are in the j omega axis. So here also 2 poles, here also 2 poles. 4 poles are there in the j omega axis. Use this row, don't use this row, because S4 is available to you. If there is no S4, if S4 does not available to you, if there is no S4 in this table, then use S square. If S4 is available from here also, from here you will get 4 roots lying at the j omega. 4 roots that are lying at the j omega axis. This is j omega axis. That means if this is sigma, this is j omega. So this here 2 poles, here 2 poles. This is j root 2. This is j root 2 minus j root 2 j minus j. So 4 poles are lying at the j omega axis. 1 poles are lying at the right half of the S plane. So don't go for S square, go for S4. From here you will get 4 poles that will lie at the j omega axis. If these poles are real, then you have to decide in which side. If these values are real, suppose you have got after solving this equation, you have got 4 real values. So then you have to decide plus minus means 1 pole will lie at the left half of the S plane, 1 pole will lie at the right half of the S plane. Here also same, but here this all 4 poles are having j term, so they are not real, they are imaginary poles. These two are imaginary. These pole pairs are imaginary. These pole pairs are also imaginary. So don't go with S square. It will be wrong. Go with S4. You will get 4 poles. You may get 4 poles lying at the j omega or at the imaginary axis. This is imaginary axis poles. These two are imaginary axis poles. So we have solved 2 very important problems. In the short left of this video, in the next video, I will solve another one very important problem for you. So today we are ending Routh-Hurwitz criteria. Next, from tomorrow onwards, we will solve Routh-Lucas. Routh-Lucas needs the help of Routh-Hurwitz criteria.